CJ Stroud stood up for his friend, his good buddy. They go all the way back, high school, middle school. There's a relationship there between the number 1 and number 2 picks in the 2023 draft. CJ Stroud stood up for his buddy Bryce Young, threw the Panthers under the bus in the process. He was on the Pivot podcast, and he had this to say about Bryce Young's rookie year.
In his shoes, I feel like a lot of stuff didn't go his way that was out of his control. You know, like, you can't make a play if somebody don't block. You can't make a play if somebody don't catch the ball. Like, and when you watch the tape, like, Bryce did a lot of great things. Yep. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be a great player, but it takes time. You know, like, I think I came into a situation where, you know, we were struggling, I know, but, like, we still had a lot of good pieces, and Nick Casario, our GM, brought in a lot of good vets. You know, D'Amico was the perfect coach for our type of team. So, like, I think our rhythm, and, you know, like I said earlier, everybody's path is different. Like, maybe I had a good rookie year, and Bryce is going to have a great second year, you know what I'm saying? And hopefully I do too, but, like, I know everything's going to be fine for him. And I told him, like, you the one, bro. Yeah. You the one for a reason. Like, don't ever, like, and he's not going to, but don't ever look at yourself different, bro.
How about that for some defense?
I love that.
I like it from the friend CJ Stroud. If I'm Bryce Young, I'm like, solid, appreciate it, buddy. Thank you. Loyalty from a good friend. But as a Panthers fan, this is hidden trash talk here. This is like low-key Trojan horse of our system is awesome. Our players are awesome. His team stinks. Right? Listen, man, I played pretty darn well, but I'm in a good situation. Bryce Young, he's good. He's awesome. He's the one. I'm a big fan. Oh, he's great. Oh, he did great. Everything else there stinks.
Little big brother versus little brother conversation.
It's a little like he did good for what he could. Right? That's
for what he had around him.
That's yeah, you look great for your age. Right? It's like, whoa, that whole compliment just changed. Hey, you're a pretty good athlete for your size. It's like, wait, what do you mean by that? Everybody has those things they're insecure about, right? Yeah, no, you're pretty good for somebody that can't jump. It might be honest, by the way. Like CJ Stroud, and there are certain podcasts, that's one of them, Pivot, shout out to those guys. They get athletes specifically, because it's hosted by former professional athletes, to open up and be more honest than they are when you're mixed in with hosts, right? They feel like they're not talking to the media, even though, spoiler alert, it's media, right? That clip is the 40 seconds that went viral from the CJ Stroud interview. Why? Not because they're like, oh, we're so good at keeping players comfortable. It's because that's what everyone in the media does. You take the section that is explosive and you send it viral. It might be honest. He might be looking at the Panthers and going, how in the world was a quarterback supposed to be successful? It might be honest. But name a time when a player has been honest about another team in that way. That's to me like, you're talking with your buddy or even like an acquaintance, and you're like, yeah, my family is so annoying, and they're like, yeah, you know what, your brother is pretty annoying. You're like, whoa. I can say that. You can't say that. Like if someone in the Panthers organization said, we didn't put Bryce in a very good spot last year, right? He can't, sit in the pocket and go through his progressions if he's not protected. That's fine. As soon as somebody from another team is like, yeah, your offensive line stunk. It's like, whoa. You can't say that. You're not in our side. You compliment the opponent. That's all you do. How many times have we seen like the Chiefs or the Patriots in the middle of a dynasty talking about some last place opponent that they're playing, going, they do a lot of really good things on defense. They bring pressure. It's like they haven't given up less than 35 points in 2 months. What are you talking about? Well, it's they've had some bad luck over there, and it's like, no, be honest with me. But they never are. CJ Stroud was like, I have no problem being honest. They stink. What? You don't want CJ Stroud's pity. If you're like, even if I'm Bryce Young, I'm like, listen, man, I appreciate it. We're boys. We go way back. But come on, man. We don't need your pity over here. We don't need your woe is me, woe is Bryce. I'll be fine. I can handle it. You don't got to stick up for me. You're not my big brother.
I also find it interesting how it seems like there was a recurring theme this season with Carolina Panthers fans and also just fans around the NFL in general of, well, if CJ Stroud played for the Carolina Panthers, he'd be having the same season that Bryce Young did. You don't hear CJ Stroud say that. I mean, maybe it's just because any competitor's not going to say, like, yeah, I'd suck with this team, but...
What if he said, like, you could have flipped us? I would have made the Panthers look good. Like, that would have been a completely different – and I wouldn't expect that from him because C.J. Stroud is, by all accounts, by the way, C.J. Stroud is extremely mature, well thought out. He's handled the media very well. So this isn't a knock on him personally. It's really motivation for the Panthers, right? Because the worst hard-hitting trash talk is what? It's true, right? It's the most impactful insults are what? They're true, right? The best trash talkers in the world, they find something that you're actually insecure about. There's a great John Mulaney stand-up bit that says, and I'm not going to do the John Mulaney, I'm not going to go into the voice or anything like that, but he talks about how middle schoolers are like the meanest bullies in the world, and they find the one thing that you're actually insecure about, and they make fun of you. And his joke is, like, look at that man with the high-waisted feminine hips. And he's like, that's something I'm already insecure about. Again, John Mulaney does it much funnier than I do. I'm not trying to take his bit. But that should almost hurt the Panthers worse, right? Another quarterback was comfortable saying publicly, because he was so confident that everyone would agree with him, that you set your quarterback up for failure. CJ Stroud just said the Panthers made it so he couldn't be the one. He couldn't be good his rookie year. Take that personally. You know, as much as everybody wants to replace everybody on the Panthers roster, that's just not realistic. Right? You can't replace everybody. So if Ike Ekwonu is back, if Taylor Moton is back despite his massive cap hit, 2 guys on the offensive line, if Thielen is back, like if Miles Sanders is back, take it personally. Be like, he just publicly said we stunk and didn't give our quarterback any help, and nobody disagreed with him.
It's even more ironic that he's saying this, and I know that his intentions weren't ill by any means for CJ Stroud, but he's saying this after they lost to the Carolina Panthers this past season. Now, granted, it was a dominating win by any means, but still, it's not like Bryce Young got the better of the game.
Game-winning field goal, end the game. But it is, I don't know, it struck me as weird, and then the reaction to it struck me as weird, right? I watched him go, yeah, Bryce couldn't do anything, they stunk. Paraphrasing, but you heard the audio. If you were listening 7 minutes ago, you know what it was. And then the reaction, nobody in the world disagreed with him. How do you not take that personally, right? If another team, like say you're a basketball fan, right? Or actually we'll use the ACC. If Clemson, after beating UNC last night, afterwards just said, yeah, we just wanted RJ Davis to keep shooting. He's a guy that on a bad night, he's just going to shoot 40 times. So we were excited to put him into some tough shots. If nobody disagreed with him, if everybody just went, that makes sense. Yeah. RJ Davis should take that personally, right? CJ Stroud just said, yeah, their team he can't block and throw to himself. And everybody in football went, that's a good point. He can't block and throw to himself. And they didn't have anyone. Is that not weird to anybody else? Is that not strange? Just me? All right, cool.